so many. Okay, so one, what a different change up because you had your track ready, so the production end of it. Could you talk on that for a moment? Like, what is that process like? Are you starting with the story, the lyrics? Is it starting with an idea?
Like,
how does this
the
happen?
whole process for songwriting?
Yes.
I mean, kind of like to Jacob's point, it's kind of different for every song. I think most of the time, like most of my stuff I write with Landon Moore up at School of Rock, and
I love Landon.
I'll come in and usually I'll have an idea, and he's just the hands. Like I'll tell him do this, do that, and he can make it happen, and we end up making a full instrumental in like 45 minutes. So like,
that's funny because anytime I tell him to do this and do that, I get a big middle finger. So
yeah. Being on his schedule, I think for the lesson time
right,
helps.
yeah, that helps.
But like, it's funny because in the beginning we were making stuff, and I would give him an idea, and we would come out with something completely different. It would not be at all what I was wanting, but it would be like the coolest thing ever, just because like it was something we could make our own. It wasn't like we were trying to just be inspired by something and it was a copy.
Yeah, and that's definitely something I hear. Like I hear your reels, which we've talked about that. Like, and I hear where like you started with certain reels and now you've just like really expanded with your sound in so many different places. How do you feel like that happened? Just by writing or what?
Yeah, no, because at first it was like Frank Sinatra-esque, except like we wanted to do rap stuff.
Right.
Like Tyler the Creator was
right.
a big influence. But like
when he said Frank Sinatra but with a rap, I was like, skirt?
Yeah. And I think over the time I've really like grown into seeing that like I love making pop music. Like, and I love just like writing super catchy stuff that just makes people happy. Like if I have like a central mission for my music, I just want to make stuff that you can like smile to.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like what I like with Scout. I kind of see it in the crowd today.
Oh, that was like my people love Scout.
Yeah, it's really like, you know, that's a song about my dog.
Yeah.
It's like, it makes me happy.
They're like, the girls were like, oh, that's so cool. And then when you said it was about your dog, I was like, I told you. Yeah. So that was like, I think it's also interesting too, getting feedback, you know, because people always come to me with feedback and they're always like, oh my gosh, you know, like he's got the Justin Bieber vibe. And I was like, oh, okay. Which a lot of times as an artist, anytime you get associated with somebody, you're kind of like, that you don't want to. But I think coming from young girls, that's probably a compliment, you know? So what would you say would be advice for people wanting to do music in the vein that you do?
Just do it. Like for the longest time, I kept trying to like do something different just to be different. But like if you know what you want to do, whether or not it's unique or seems like you're copying someone else, if you can make it your own and be strong in your points with it, then people are going to love it. Because at the end of the day, if you're doing something that you're most familiar with, then it's going to sound the best. Mm-hmm. And you can
stay true to self as an artist.
Yeah, and then you can branch off from there. Because I think when you get strong in one point, then you can find yourself going into different avenues.
Yeah, for sure. Last question, and that is, what is on the scope for 2020 for Son.person?
So in 2021, we have a new single actually dropping on the 26th, finally. Like I said before, I have 5 out, but this next one is called Sunny But Storming.
Yes, what a great hook.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. We have a whole umbrella concept with the sun out, just a bunch of cool stuff coming up promo-wise. But we have some gigs on the horizon. We got some stuff at High Tone, got some stuff at Growlers coming up. And yeah, it's really just, it's looking up. We're going to be, y'all are actually the first to hear this, but we're working.
Oh, breaking news, it happened here.
We're going to be working with Elliot Ives in December.
Oh, wow.
To write some stuff.
Those of you who don't know who Elliot Ives is, for one, he is a phenomenal producer. But he was on tour with JT, Justin Timberlake.
He's a guitar player.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Pretty fun stuff.
That's going to be a lot of fun, because we talked about, that's so weird, because we talked about like that so long ago. To see things come full circle is insane from my position. Like looking at that, knowing that he's about to record with Elliot Ives, and then when we first started, and then being like, maybe you should think about contacting Elliot Ives, and then here we are. And here you are with your merchandise.
I was going to say, we have hoodies coming out this month.
I'm not surprised. Whit has packaged himself in so many different creative ways, and it has been so organic and so fluid, and it really represents itself with you and your brand. I'm so proud of you. Y'all put it up for Whit. All right, Millian.